The wise words of Gattuso. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Milan have just lost 4-1 to Chelsea in, let's just say, their last pre-season game before the official business starts next week against Bari in the Coppa Italia, and then the Serie A campaign starts. Now, as much as I said yesterday's game was a rotational game, I felt like today's game against Chelsea was also a rotational one. When I saw the backline, I worried. When I saw the backline, I was worried. When I saw Chelsea start in 11, knowing fully well that the Premier League starts next week, so Enzo Maresca is going full strength, I was like, this is a backline with a lot of players that need to prove themselves, but this is a backline. If they get it wrong, Milan will get spanked. And it's crazy because I feel like the damage was done in the first 20 minutes, 18 minutes. An own goal, a red card, Joao Pedro header where the defending was non-existent. A lot of damage was done, and I feel like once Milan got to that stage, it was just a matter of damage control. Can you try to keep yourself in the game? And that's probably, as wild as this may sound, like, just take it with a pinch of salt. It is pre-season. They did heavily rotate. But as wild as this may sound, and this is what caught my eye the most, being down to 10 men, playing away from home, being 2-0 down, in some periods, I felt like Milan played better with 10 than they played with 11. I don't know. That's just how I felt it. Like, Rafa Leao, in my opinion, didn't score, but I feel like he had a very good game. You could see he was the focal point. He was the guy playing an attack. He had himself a few good opportunities. He created a few good opportunities. Like, Rafa Leao was involved. Like, I feel like it's one of those games where if you didn't sit down and watch it, you would genuinely think Milan got spanked. And yes, we can turn around and say Milan did get spanked in terms of goals, but I feel like Milan going forward, creating opportunities. Like, Milan actually had themselves opportunities where if they had scored, it wouldn't have been 4-1. It would have probably been 4-2 or like 4-3. Salamakers had a chance. Musa, only God knows. Only God knows what he was doing on his opportunity. Seeing as I'm speaking on Musa, I understand Milan are trying to generate as much cash as possible. Like, Malik Chow has just gone. Now Yunus Musa looks like he's on his way out to potentially Nottingham Forest. 15 million, signed the deal. 10 million, signed the deal. 25 million, signed the deal. Yunus Musa is such a bad watch. Such a bad watch. But do you know what it is about Yunus Musa? He has this thing about him which makes every coach love him. And I feel like in every team across the world, there's always one Yunus Musa. Every team across the world, there's always that one Yunus Musa. That one player, he's not good. Like, technically, he's not the greatest. Physically, he's not. To be fair, I think physically he's good. But as in overall, collectively, he's not the best of players. And if anything, he's a liability on the pitch. But he gives you 100%. He gives you 100%. And I feel like coaches love that in players. And that's why even Allegri is beginning to come out and say, I can work with him. I can work with him. I can improve him. I can iron out a few things out of his game. Yunus Musa is like a utility player at Milan, but boy, oh boy, like today, right wing back, it wasn't it. I remember under Sergio Conceição in midfield, he wasn't it. He was getting subbed off 30 minutes in. Under Fonseca, Milan really need to bring that chapter to an end, and if they do, I feel like they will have enough players in midfield to make do, because Luka Modric, he came off the bench, I feel like he looked good. Luka Modric today, he looked good. But you know who's another player that's looked good? And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, at the start of the summer, I would have probably said, Milan need to sell you. Now I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, you actually have so much to offer. Salamakers. I don't know what it is. I genuinely don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the loan to Roma, getting that confidence in himself. Salamakers looks like a completely different player. Everything about him. There was one cross that he put into, was it the one that, I believe, is it Rafa Leao? He was offside or something? Like, opportunities that he is creating. He creates the goal for Yusuf Fofana. Salamakers, for me, has now reached that stage where I think Milan are better off just keeping him, seeing what he can have to offer. If it means playing as the right wing back, because I don't know what's really going on with the whole right back situation. I feel like now Milan have added an extra problem to the list where they got rid of Malik Chow. Now they need to find themselves a centre back because new defenders are needed. I'm being completely honest with you guys. Tomori looked like a fish out of water. The players alongside him, fair enough, they're young, they're not the most experienced. But everybody knows, on my opinion, on people like Gabi or people like Pavlovic. I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, Milan, you might actually need two new centre halves. You might actually need two new centre halves. Tomori, I just feel like playing out of the back, playing under pressure, stepping up. Like in today's game, like he is the experienced pro. He didn't look like the experienced pro. He didn't really carry himself like a leader. I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking, if going into the campaign, Pavlovic, Gabbia and Tomori is the back three, Milan are in trouble. It's being reported that they want Genoa's Coney De Winter. He is a good player. He is actually a very, very good player. But I will save what I have to say on him. I'm preparing a video for that one. I just feel like they need to. If they get themselves two solid centre halves, then you could include somebody like Tomori, maybe somebody like Pavlovic, maybe somebody like Gabi. At least you know the core, the spine is strong enough. But listen, it was a pre-season game. Milan in some moments, they looked well, but I just feel like the damage was done in the first 20 minutes. That 4-1, 5-1, there was no way for Milan to get back into this game. But listen, it starts real soon. The game against Bari. I feel like that's when we're officially going to see Allegri's best starting 11. I feel like this entire pre-season, we haven't seen Allegri's go-to starting 11. He's just been judging these players. You can do a job here. You can't do a job here. I can play you in this formation. I can't play you in that formation. The game against Bari in the Coppa Italia, 1 week, I believe 1 week before the Serie A campaign starts, that's when Allegri is going to put his starting 11. And you could see today, Luka Modric getting himself 45 minutes. Luka Modric is a relatively fit guy. Like he even had a Club World Cup. Luka Modric getting 45. Yashari getting 60 minutes yesterday. Richie coming on for 45. Rafa Leao playing today. Stupinian getting the minutes. The game against Bari is going to tell us everything that we need to know about Allegri. But Milan need to address the striker position. They need to address the centre-back position. Right back, are they going to get the kid from Young Boys? If not, is it Salamakers for the season? Because if it is Yunus Musa, Milan are in big trouble. Milan are in big trouble. Like, even the penalty that he gave away, I was just looking at it and I was thinking, like, surely you would learn from your teammate. Surely you would learn from your teammate who was in the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up dragging Joao Pedro and got himself sent off. When you're in that position, you just have to put your body on the line and try and prevent a shot. Pulling him, it just doesn't make sense. Like, yes, we could turn around and say it's pre-season, but these things for me are more in-game management. Like, it's just, how do you handle those situations? How do you handle big pressure moments? How do you handle defending a back post cross? And I'm looking at it and I'm telling myself, Yunus Musa, I know you would do this against Bari. I know you would do this in a Milan derby. And I know you would do this in a pre-season game against Chelsea. They need to cash in. They need to bring in the necessary reinforcements, because I feel like this team is like 1-2 signings away from actually being well equipped all over the park. Of course, in terms of depth, I feel like Milan can't really address their depth issues this summer. It's all about spending in January, then spending next summer. But when you look at them, the midfield is good. The attacking options are good. There was no Pulisic, there was no Santi Jimenez. It's just the back line. The back line needs addressing. But we will discuss that hopefully tomorrow. Now, if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on another one.